Okay. Yes, I definitely I purposefully made this class because I've been getting a lot of questions that I've not been able to answer on maybe WhatsApp or Telegram due to one or two reasons. Yeah, and that's because of the fact that I've been busy or I've not been able to, just send a voice note and give you the real answers to your questions. Okay, now we have 13 people on this call. Well, what we're going to do now is you can start dropping your questions, but I'll first answer the most common question I get in my DM most of the time. I believe this is recording. Okay. Okay, this is being recorded. Okay. Yes. So you're going to get the recording immediately after this class. So the first question I always get is, yeah, you can start asking your question. Then after your questions or before your questions, we're going to look at analysis for sure. We're going to analyze everything we have here. And then if you have any beautiful pair you are also looking forward to trade during the week, as tomorrow is going to be a new market opening again. As markets continues trading, then you can send the pair that we can analyze together. Now, the first question I get is, do you send signals? And the answer is yes. Now, after I get this type of answer, they always ask, okay, this and this, whatever, whatever. How do you send your signals? Whatever, whatever. I don't know if there's any special way in sending signals because I'm tired the way people ask funny questions like, how do you send signals? What comes to my mind is that is there a special way people send signals? Because it's very, very surprising when you are seeing people asking, how do you send signals? Like, what the fuck? What sort of questions are how do I send signals? Is there a special way people send signals? So I'll be showing you how I send my signals. First of all, in the mentorship group, we have five methods of entering the markets, five method of entering. We have the confirmation special entry, we have the market maker candle entry, we have the double demand and supply entry, we have the order block entry, and then we have the Wyckoff entry. So for those that will be asking, how do I send signals? I send signals based on whichever entry I see in the market, and I send the analysis first, and then signal. You can see this is what I have a second entry on M1, which is the 1 minute time frame. Sell limit at blah blah blah, stop loss blah blah blah, TP blah blah blah, and yeah. So this was the entry when I entered the market, and you can see how it started reacting after the signal was sent. So I believe, and this one is indices. This is synthetic indices, crash and boom. For those that are asking, do I trade crash and boom? Yes, we trade crash and boom, and then this is a special strategy I'm working on. It's still a smart money strategy. As you can see what I said here, I said I'm going to teach you when the time come how to use market maker candles for entry on crash and boom on the 5 minute time frame. I'm still checking if it's a consistent strategy and we'll be catching spikes like no man's business. So smart money people will start work. Some smart people will start work as they see this message. Yes. So since it's a lifetime mentorship, any strategy I see or I know or I notice in the markets, we are going to what? We are going to kill the strategy with we are going to kill the market with whichever strategy. So as you can see here, I just sent it to the group that okay, if it's going to be consistent, then I'm going to teach you guys. Then if it's not consistent, but fine. But since yesterday, I found out the strategy yesterday. Yes, I found out the strategy yesterday, and it has been doing wonders. So I still have to test this for like 1 month before I drop the strategy to my students. There has to be a level of consistency before I, give something to those who paid for the mentorship. Okay, so yeah, we have something again. This thing I posted in the morning, I've been back testing and working. It's been working for weeks. So one of my students sent out this also to the group, no, to me in my DM. I was like, what I sent has been working for him, whatever, whatever. You can see how beautiful. And this was the previous signal I sent on crypto. We deal with crypto, we deal with volatility, and we deal with currency. For those that don't know, and this is another crypto pair I took. You can join me in the sell. It was the risk SL, you know, entry using whatever, then I'll definitely send the signal. Okay. So I think that will be all for answering questions on how my mentorship signals look like. Okay. Now somebody said, don't I trade volatility synthetic indices? Synthetic indices is also the same as volatility indices. I always trade volatility indices, but I don't like analyzing with my laptop. So you can see it's just, yeah, I don't really like analyzing with my laptop because the response is always very, very slow, and I don't like the analysis on the I don't like the view on laptop. But on my phone, I use my phone, I trade volatility indices, and me and my student trade volatility indices. Someone here has been trading, posting volatility index, volatility 75 index. You can see those are the for students who listening, and you can see someone has been trading volatility index. So we trade volatility index. If I see setups, I'll definitely send signal. The trend is your friend. This is boom. Someone sends this, so you can see this is volatility 25 index. So we deal with volatility index also. I think that will be all concerning the volatility index. Once I see setup, I definitely send signal on volatility index. Yeah, so I trade them a lot. Okay, more questions are coming in, and I like this. Okay, please, I need more explanation on the 5 minutes confirmation entry. Yes, the 5 minutes confirmation entry is the one I gave you guys on YouTube. Okay, let's go back to crypto, because crypto has been more active, and then let's check the pair I sent to the group as signal, because I got 5 minutes entry there. Yes, as you can see, still moving in profit, but I think we lost profit somewhere, so it has stopped us out in profit. But we really managed this trade. Yes, we really managed this trade and took a lot out of this. Okay, now using this, let's try to back forward a little bit. I'm not really used to back forwarding, but I've never really done it so well like that. So now you've spotted your order block on the 1 hour time frame, right? And then what do you need now? You're waiting for markets to give you 5 minutes confirmation once it gets to the zone. So whatever you're going to do is you're going to wait for the market to get into the zone. Okay, so now market is on the zone right now. Now the 5 minutes, for the 5 minutes confirmation, remember I said in the mentorship group we have 5 different entries. So I used 2 entries here, which was the 1 minute confirmation and then the 5 minutes confirmation. So I don't think I got any 5 minutes confirmation here on this strategy, on this pair. So let's just move down to the 1 minute confirmation immediately. Okay, now using the 1 minute confirmation, yes, the same thing is what you look for: break of structure, order block or demand or supply zone, and then your entry. That's all. So you just need this break of structure here. Okay, wait, let me delete all I have here. Yes, so let's go back a little bit. Let's go back to when markets enter the zone. Yes, no, so now this is, let's assume this is the 5 minutes entry. Let's ignore the fact that we're using 1 minute entry. I'm just trying to explain that 5 minutes entry. Now market has touched into our zone, and then we're waiting for what? A break of structure. Is there a break of structure now? There's no break of structure yet. So you wait for a break of structure. Now there's a beautiful break of structure here. There's a beautiful break of structure here, as you can see. A break of structure here. There's a break of structure here, as you can see. Beautiful delivery. Now you can see a break of structure. So where is the other block that was formed before the break of structure? Is definitely this other block here that was formed before the break of structure, right? Because that was the last up move before the wholesale impulsive move. And you wait for what? You wait for confirmations. Okay, now sorry, you wait for mitigation, and then the mitigation is just depending on the set stop loss and TP. Now for TP is going to be, hey, okay, let's go back again. I don't know why TradingView does this shit a lot, but TP is going to be the next low at this point. Should be here. TP should be here. Yes, that's the next liquidity point. Okay, now we're on 1 minute time frame, and let's quickly zoom it back. Let's quickly run it there. Okay, so market tapped into the zone, and then we're waiting for a nice break of structure. Now market has given us a beautiful break of structure. So what are we waiting for? We're waiting for beautiful mitigation back into that zone, right? And that's your 5 minutes entry. Let's just assume this is 5 minutes. Okay, then you play. Let's wait for it. Definitely your stop loss is going to be above this eye here, something like this. Let's just say something like this. Okay, and wait for the tap into the zone. And your TP should be somewhere. I just explained where TP should be, so that shouldn't be an issue. Okay, now nice tap into the zone, and then you are waiting for what's trade management. Now you are inside the trade. Now the next thing is for trade management. So for me, I trail stop losses when I get reasonable break of structure on the lower time frames. You can see our markets did a lot of range when it's tapped into the zone. I don't want to change to 3 minutes because that stuff might do nonsense again. And played out, played out, played out, played out, played out. We had to hold this for a very long time. Whew. Okay. Can see. So for those that won't have the patience to hold, you can see how this market really took a very, very long time before it started giving reasonable profits and boom. So yeah. So that was how we engaged in the delivery, and that is how your 5 minutes time frame entry should also be. Just wait for another break of structure inside the zone once your market or once your once the market has gotten to the point of interest, wait for another break of structure again to the downside, and boom, perfect delivery. Okay, and this is where the market is right now. So TP should be on the next liquidity point, which I have drawn out successfully there. So I'm still expecting markets to reach this point. Yeah, but market has taken me out already because we lost profit at this point and that's it's the place. But no problem about that. Beautiful. Okay. So I think I've explained 5 minutes confirmation entry now. That's the way you enter on 5 minutes entry. Look for another break of structure again. And how can I identify weekly buyers? How can we swing trade with different strategies? I need to know more about OB because the lowest OB doesn't mitigate most of the time. Since you said we must use the lowest and most recent OB, so I don't understand uh which is okay. Let me first answer this simple question here. Can you spot a break of structure with line charts? I've never used that before, but something I always tell myself and something I always tell my students is that you must be ready to make your research by yourself. You understand what I'm saying? Where's the line chart? I don't even think I've used this before. Where's the line charts? Okay, somewhere here. There should be ways to identify other blocks with line chart, but uh you might not be able to spot those candles that are grabbing the liquidity. So you might not really, you understand what I'm saying? You might not really get the real candles because some candles grab liquidity. I need those type of candles. Okay, once you see the liquidity grabs on candles, you know that okay, this is the type of candle I'm looking for. Like candle here, this candle grabbed liquidity of previous candle. So that's a special candle for confluence for marking out this other block here. So like I always tell people, you can spot it on the line charts. If that's what works for you, just find your edge, know how it works for you, and then achieve consistency in it. That's all. But if it doesn't work for you, then just stick to candlestick. Don't complicate things for yourself. Okay. I need to know which. Okay, now let's go back to this question. I need to know more about OB. Okay, because the lowest OB doesn't mitigate most of the time. Since you said we must use the lowest. Okay. Yeah. So your problem is now that okay, if you have an order block like this and if you have okay, let's just use the market ASAP because questions are coming in. Now the question is okay, you have several multiple order blocks here. Okay, something like this now. You have an order block here, and then you have an order block here. Yes, you can see now that these two other blocks didn't trigger. But if I was to enter at this point, I'll say, okay, which other block should I use? Definitely, I'll say, okay, use the most recent order block, which is this one. And even using the most recent order blocks, you can see that it didn't mitigate. You understand what I'm saying? There's no mitigation there. So, for those things now, it doesn't mean you are not correct. It doesn't mean whatever you are doing is not correct. It just means that the market doesn't want to mitigate the other block at that point. You understand what I'm saying? Market just doesn't want to mitigate that other block. And some of the pairs have been trading also. Okay, let's go to Ethereum now. For some weeks, my other blocks have not triggered at all. Let's quickly check. Let's quickly check. Oh, these ones have been triggering. Let's check. I have some pairs that the other, yeah, like you can see now. This one here, the markets didn't touch it. This one here, the market didn't touch it. That doesn't mean all my other blocks are wrong. It just means that the market doesn't want to mitigate my other blocks. And then until we have this beautiful delivery here. Now, I also explained something concerning other blocks that doesn't mitigate because sometimes the markets might not just want to mitigate the other block. The markets might want to mitigate the whole zone that was formed before the what creation of the other block. that explanation was made in my mentorship class. So that's a different course I'm raising on its own. Okay. So if you are still using other blocks and you are using the most recent other block and it's not working, it doesn't mean your other blocks are not correct. It just means that the market doesn't want to mitigate exactly that other block. It wants to mitigate. It wants to continue its mitigation at another zone. Okay. How can I identify weekly buyers? Yeah, weekly buyers. You identify weekly buyers by going to the weekly time frame for sure. Start from if it means. Let me quickly answer these two questions because I think how can we swing trades with different strategies? Oh, this person is asking for different strategies now. But for different strategies, these strategies, some strategies don't accept swing trades, but I think other block strategy accept swing trades. Now, okay, I'll explain these two together now. So how can you identify weekly buyers and how can you swing trade with different strategies? The only strategy I use here is other block, smart money concepts, demand and supply. So I'll be answering swing trade with only other block strategy, not different strategy, because I do with only other block strategy. Then I'll be explaining these two answers also. Okay. So how can you identify weekly buyers? Let's use monthly. Let's use currency pairs. These cryptos don't have. Yes, this is the weekly time frame. The same way you identify other blocks on the 5 minute time frame. So let's just assume that okay, this is the 5 minute time frame. How do you analyze on the 5 minute time frame or a 1 hour time frame? It's still the same way you analyze using the it's using the same what do I miss what I'm going to say now. The same way you analyze on the weekly time frame, still the same way you would have analyzed on the 1 minute time frame, the 1 minute time frame, the 1 hour time frame, or the 5 minute time frame. So let's just assume this is a weekly time frame. Ignore the fact that this is weekly here. Just cancel your mind that this is weekly. Now the only difference is just that okay, this one might have taken a lot of years, while if we're on 5 minutes to take a number of hours. You understand what I'm saying? So the way you analyze weekly is still the same thing. That's how you get the weekly bias. Same movements, break of structure, and what's other block, right? Break of structure again. Break of structure again. Then where is the move that broke the structure? It's definitely this one here. This was the move that broke the structure, and you can see how you are getting a weekly bias here. So let's ignore this mitigation. We have a break of structure here. You can see beautiful break of structure, and then where was the move that broke the structure again? It's this one here. See, still that move. Okay, so let's look at another break of structure again, and okay, so this is another break of structure here. So where was the move that broke the structure? Where was the move that broke the structure? It's around this point or somewhere here. You can see. Now there is something that always causes confusion, especially when there's a break of structure. Now, when there's a break of structure, and then you can see like many other blocks forming before the break of structure. You can see there's another block there before the break of structure. Other block was demand zone here before the break of structure. Let's just use this whole zone like this. Now, okay, let's draw it out to be 3. Let me use 3 other blocks because some people always draw out numerous other blocks. Now you can see now that we have 3 other blocks here that was formed before the break of structure. The one you select is the most recent other block. Yeah, I think I just talked about that some minutes ago. Selecting the most recent other block because that's the most recent low in the market, and we're expecting market to mitigate the most recent low to give us a new to give us a new low. Yeah, to give us a new low and break a high to give us a new high. So that's the same approach. Okay, so same thing again. Now is changing bearish break of structure here. Now where's the movements that broke the structure? We have just one other block candle here. Okay, now there was no mitigation at this point till up to this point. Then it started ranging because if you are taking a break of structure here, other block here, a little bit of downward movements, then no reasonable break of structure till this point. So now you can see how you've been able to get weekly buyers, and you should know that if you are spotting your other blocks on weekly buyers, it means number one, you're a swing trader, and number two, it means you're going to have to wait for days before your orders mitigate or before you get confirmations for your entry. So that's just it. If you want to swing trade, you should know that first of all, you're using the weekly time frame. And then your time frame for entry should not pass 15 minutes time frame. Because you're using the because going down to the 1 minute time frame would make a lot of noise. You're going to get a lot of noise, a lot of confusion. But once you are using this type of weekly time frame for analysis, in fact, 30 minutes time frame is okay for your confirmation entry, and then 15 minutes time frame. And you know that you are swinging, so your stop loss is going to be a little bit wide on like when you're using the 1 minute time frame. So that's the advantage of day trading compared to swing trading. But swing trading, you hold and then you catch the old trend. You have to exercise a lot of patience. But me, I don't really like swing trading. I don't even like it at all. Okay, so still the same bias here. That's how you swing trade. And then once the market is trying to flip bullish again, now once this has closed very, very bullish, then where's the other block that was formed before the break of structure? It should be here. It means you should be waiting for a lot of weeks before markets comes back to mitigate these points before it starts moving to the upside. Am I correct? Yes. So that's what you call swing trading. You have to wait for a very, very long time, and then you've gotten a weekly bias. So what we've done here is also the same thing you could have done on 5 minutes time frame to get a bias on other blocks. So still the same thing on 30 minutes time frame to wait for a break of structure and look for your confirmation entry on the smaller time frame. So that's how can I identify a weekly bias? That's just very, very easy. The way you look at the 5 minutes time frame, if you can look at the weekly time frame the way you're looking at the 5 minutes time frame, then everything is going to become easy. Just know that one will take a very large number of days, while one is going to take a very large number of hours. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. Okay, I'll answer this question. Can you spot a break of structure with a line chart? Okay, let's quickly do that. Line chart, I'm not really a fan of line charts, but this is line chart. There's nothing really special about break of structure. So this is what I was talking about now. This is what I was talking about. Okay, we can say this is a break of structure here, right? Now this is a line chart. Now we can say this is a break of structure. Now the only disadvantage you might have with having line charts is normally if you were using candlestick, you know that okay, if this one was a week, then you know that okay, this one is not a break of structure, because once we need a break of structure that will break it the whole body and the whole. But now you're using a line, all you are saying is just lines, right? Then you should be analyzing with that. But the disadvantage is that it might just be a fake break of structure, because it might just weak grab liquidity of this low here and then continue moving to the upside. That's what I'm saying. But if it was candlestick, then you understand that okay, it's a real candle, it's closed with body. Okay, now this one didn't close with a wick, so it's a real candle, and then the other block is going to be here. Yeah, it should be here. The other block should be here like that. Now you can see how it's mitigated it. But if you are using line, let's see, this is where your other block is going to be. That's what I'm talking about. So I don't really think line chart is very, very advisable. But if you've been using line chart and it's working for you well, that's very, very nice. Just stick to it and then find your edge using the line chart. Okay. Uh, So if we don't see confirmation of 5 minutes, we can drop down to 1 minute. Exactly, yes. You can drop down to 1 minute. You can drop down to 30 seconds. You can drop down to 15 seconds. Please help me to go back to that September crypto chart. I have a question on it. September crypto. SCP, please just give me the name of the crypto so I can, because September crypto, and I have a lot of crypto watch lists here. You understand what I'm saying? I have a lot of crypto watch lists here. So just tell me the pair, and then we can quickly go back to September. There's nothing like SCP. I would have just gotten inside SCP, but give me specific cryptocurrency. Okay. Are you recording? I was late, please. Yes, I'm recording. The wick should not be visible on the line chart. The wick should not be visible on the line chart. Yes, the wick is not going to be visible on the line chart, definitely, because it's just lines. Everything's been represented with lines, So you can't actually get the story of the candlestick. Okay, let's check this now. Let's check this out. You can see you are not really going to get the real candlestick story here on the line chart. And every candlestick has a story. If you don't know, every candlestick has a story. That's a course on its own. That's the market fluidity course by Raja Banks, which I also be teaching my students very soon. I've not just really had time to, you know, to make videos and then make explanation on that, but you know that every candlestick has a story. Every candlestick has a story. Okay, I think there are no questions for now, and yeah, if there are no questions, I'll start analyzing the pairs we are looking up to for Monday down to what? down to Friday. Okay, and then you can also drop your pairs for analysis. Okay, we have Euro AUD here. I always start from the daily time frame. What is the daily time frame telling me? This is daily time frame. I'm still expecting market to get to this price because that's a protected high, an area of liquidity rather, not a protected high. It's an area of liquidity. So I'm expecting market to run to this area of liquidity. That's my target, but it's going to take a very large number of days, time, weeks, whatever. I don't care. But all I know right now is market is very, very bullish. Okay, we've gotten this break of structure here. And then the other block that I found before the break of structure was this whole zone, and the market is mitigating it right away. So I'm bullish. Let's go down to the 4 hour time frame. 4 hours time frame. Now something that always, now this is the 1 hour time frame. Something that always confuses people is that once I go down to the 1 hour time frame, it is, the market might be bearish, but once I go down to the, go up to the 4 hours again, the market is bullish. If I go to the 1 hour, the market is bearish. Now follow the trend, right? You have to follow the trend. First of all, the daily is what? The daily is bullish. I hope I'm still with you guys. Okay, yes, the daily is bullish. Now remember that you are looking for buying opportunities, right? Now also remember that the daily structure is bullish, and then institutional structure on the 1 hour time frame is what? Is bearish. Now following structure on the 1 hour time frame, it still doesn't mean you can't take sales up to areas of interest. You should know that if you are taking a sell, it shouldn't be a very long sell. You understand what I'm saying? Unlike when you are taking a buy. Okay, now when you see opportunities to sell, then you can take your sales. It's called counter trend trades. Now on Euro UD, I'm still bullish on this. What am I expecting? Let's go down to 30 minutes. I'm not really seeing anything beautiful here. I'm not seeing anything beautiful here. I don't really like what I'm seeing here. I'm seeing a lot of other blocks, and I don't want to draw out zones. So let me just draw it to this one here. I have another block here also. Let's go back to our 30 minutes time frame. Okay, 1 hour time frame rather. So what's the 1 hour time frame showing us? One hour time frame is not really showing me anything beautiful. I don't like all these type of setups. These are not my types of setups. Let me just ignore it. Okay, let's go. AUD card. Okay, AUD card has been bearish. You can see very bearish, but I'm seeing this beautiful other block here, and I'm expecting movements to the upside. What is the daily stay? This daily is very bearish. Very bearish. You can see this is the initial break of structure here. This was the initial break of structure, and then where's the other block that caused break of structure? Everything happened right here. You can see, so market is very bearish, and since then it has been very bearish. Okay, now I want to take an intertrend buy. You can see counter trend buy rather, counter trend buy. Okay, yes, I was in a sell. I'm still in a buy rather. I'm still in a buy because I got confirmations already, and that's what market has for us. How many pips? I don't use anything more than 5 pips stop loss. Okay, so market is very bearish, but this buy is a was counter trend. Okay, and then we can start taking ourselves from here again. AUD USD, what's the daily telling us? Starting from here is looking bearish, but it's trying to move to the upside, rejecting from this point. Looks like it wants to start a range. We don't know yet, so I might take a buy, I might take a sell, depending on whatever the structure is telling me on the 1 hour time frame. If I see a beautiful structure here, let's see. Okay, I don't really like what I'm seeing, so I'll be patient enough to wait for market to give me entries. I like this type of other blocks. Okay, then we can look for opportunities to go long, because this is a daily order block and it's gated. Then other block formed again, so there's a high chance of mitigation at this point. Okay, Euro card. I've explained Euro AD right now. Euro card 2 is bearish. Euro card is very, very bearish. Looking for short sale opportunities. So if I get a break of structure at this point, yeah, if I get a break of structure like that, then this other block will be held responsible for that. Okay, the other block is going to be held responsible for the break of structure. Yeah. Euro CHF. What do I have on Euro CHF? On Euro CHF, I'm still very bearish. Euro CHF, I missed the sell on this. I missed this. No, I didn't miss a sell. I didn't take the sell because the stop loss was too wide. I got confirmations, but the stop loss was too wide, so I just ignored it. But it played out perfectly fine. So I'm still expecting more sales from here. If I don't get sales from here, then I'll get sales from here again. Okay. Still structurally, I'm bearish. Euro USD. Okay. What do we have on Euro USD? Euro USD just broke out from this range that has been ranging for days. Euro USD just broke out from that range, so I'm still expecting more buys to target this area of liquidity here. So I'm still bullish on Euro USD. Still bullish on Euro USD. Okay, and then if I get sell entries here, there's no problem about that. I'll definitely take the sales, but my TP is going to be at these places here to give us higher low, and then markets continue giving us higher highs. GBP AUD. Okay, it's almost the same thing as Euro AUD. Nothing special, nothing different. GBP JPY, yes. So this was GBP JPY free setup I sent to the group last week Monday, January 10. Yes, January 10 was last week Monday. Yeah, I sent this setup here. I have two other blocks here, but I was like, okay, how do I know if this other block will hold? If this other block gives me confirmation, then I'm ready to take the sale, and then you can see how perfect the delivery went. And then when markets got to the second order block again, another sale occurred. After the sale occurred, another block was created in the process of creating the sale. Then I think I took entries because I can see what I have here, and still we still have other blocks here that have been playing out very, very nicely. So on this 1 hour time frame, I don't even need to check the daily time frame because my 1 hour time frame has just been giving me bearish moves. So I want to follow the bearish moves before while it lasts. So USD JPY, what do you have in USD JPY? USD JPY has also been bearish. Yeah. USD JPY, GBP JPY, almost the same thing. USD JPY, I got stopped out at this point, lock profits, and boom. So all those things happen. Yeah, this is another block that is being mitigated, and let's still see what we have. Let's see what the market has for us, because I know that when market opens, it might want to range, or it should just boom to this place and range and then comes downside. Then this other block is no longer valid because there was no confirmation here. So that's the way I know if another block is valid or not. Once I get my confirmations on that, even if I have two other blocks or another block above, once I get my confirmation on this other block here, then I'm good to go. I don't care if there's another block above me. But if I don't get the confirmation and then I get the confirmation on the other block above, then beautiful. Okay, now let's check gold. I've not really seen anything tradable on gold since I resumed. So it has been moving back and forth, like it has been going sideways, like moving in sort of a channel movements. Okay, so I don't really, yeah, it has been moving some. Let's quickly use trend lines and see something like a channel kind of movements. So it has been moving back and forth, okay, but structurally I'm going to follow the structure. Once I see what should I be expecting here. I don't really like all these spikes. So let markets give me something here, but according to this structure here, okay, this one played out nicely. I'm still waiting for buys from these zones, these other block zones that I've drawn out here. Once I get my confirmations, I'm going to enter here or here, whichever one. Okay, break of structure, other block, break of structure, other block. So whichever one is going to hold, my confirmations are going to let me know. Okay, I've explained gold, AUD USD. I've explained AUD USD. GJ, I've explained GJ. EU, EU is here. Okay, I've explained EU. Okay, are you recording? Okay, yes, yes, yes. So what's the difference between liquidity grab entry and an order block? Okay, what's the difference between liquidity grab entry and entry on order block? Can you show me example to differentiate the two? Yes, GBPCHF. Okay, coming. Now, liquidity grab entry. This happens most of the times on. Let me quickly show you. I rarely use liquidity grab entries again. You know, I wrote there was an ebook I wrote entry using liquidity grab. So I don't really think I've traded liquidity grab entry, but uh let me show you how it looks like. So this is how liquidity grab entry looks like. Okay, no. How to draw another block. Yes, okay. Now, as we can see here, liquidity is forming already, right? Now, and you want to what? You want to participate in this sell here, but there's another block here. Yes, there's another block there. So what you are just waiting for is you're waiting for markets to grab liquidity of the buyers and sellers, give you some sort of price delivery of this, grab the liquidity, and then move to the downside. That's liquidity grab entry. But for other block entry, it's not different from what I just explained. Use this case comma. It's not different from what I just explained on the crypto trade. Okay, I think I have liquidity grab entry on crypto. Let's quickly go to it. Let's go back to this SFP again. Now I used 1 minute entry here. So using the 1 minute entry, I'm not really going to replay that again because I've replayed it earlier. This is what we know as order block entry. Okay, yeah, this is what we know as order block entry. When market gets to the zone on the 1 hour time frame, and then you look for an order block to validate your entry or to give you confluence for entering. But liquidity grab entry, I think I made an entry on liquidity grab on one of these coins. Let me quickly check for it. Okay, not this one. It was a buy. We're going to find it now. Is somewhere here. I think is 1 inch. Yes, 1 inch. It's 1 inch. Okay, it was a buy. Yes, exactly. So this is what we know as liquidity grab entry. The liquidity was forming, and then I selected my order block. This was the order block. This was the initial order block. I remember this trade. It was a midnight trade, and I wanted to sleep. So I was like, oh, what do I do? It was an order block here. There was another block here, 1 hour order block. Then I refined it down to the 1 minute time frame. I refine it down to the 1 minute time frame. So you should know that refining has advantages and disadvantages, because the disadvantage is that it's if you over refine too much, it might not get to your entries, might not exactly get to that point, before taking off. But once you understand how liquidity grabs, once you understand how refining the markets or refining entries works for you, then there's no problem about that. We're just 38 minutes up, so okay. So that's liquidity grab entry. Liquidity grab entry, you're not looking for entry again on the 1 hour time frame or on the 5 minute time frame. Once markets touch the POI, you're expecting the market to grab liquidity, immediately touch the POI, and then take off. Can see. So this is something like this happened. Okay. Uh, Somebody. Okay, GBPCHF. GBPCHF. So definitely we start from the daily time frame to check the structure of the daily time frame. I love these beautiful movements here because this is very, very bullish. After this range here, we got this bearish moves, and then markets ranged again. Now it's going bullish. So I think GBCHF has this kind of structure where it's ranges and then break structure. Okay, you can see here range, bullish, range, bearish. So range again, bullish, and let's check. This is the way me I analyze on my own when I want to check a pair because it's a new pair. So I'm doing. This is how I make my own research. You can see range, bearish. You can see beautiful range, bearish. So range, bullish. You can see. So I think between CHF is fond of ranging and then releasing, ranging, releasing. Okay, so it's happening here again. It has ranged, it has released. Now it's trying to range again and it has released already. So very, very bullish on this market right now. So what are we looking for? We're looking for areas of interest, right, to draw our order blocks. Now you can see that this order block here isn't hold. Why did this is hold? Because at that point, the market was getting to this point. At the moment market was getting to this point, sorry to say, market was already bullish. So those drawing order blocks here might have gotten in. Maybe if they use 1 minute time frame, they might have gotten entry, but didn't hold for long. You can see. So I explained all this in to my students in my mentorship videos, where I explained why other blocks fail, why some other blocks fail. Now let's go to the 4-hour time frame to check what we're looking for. This is very, very bullish and it's trying to be bearish again. Okay. Now that it's trying to be bearish, I don't expect these bullish order blocks to really hold for long. Let's go to the 1-hour time frame. Okay. Beautiful break of structures here. Yeah, so I'm not expecting anything other than this for sales, and areas of target should be something somewhere here. I'm not expecting nothing less than this. Okay, UBPCHF. Let me see the layout. Maybe next week again I'll check it, see if it's played out according to analysis. Okay, so this is what I'm expecting here. So if you get entry here, then good to sell. If you get entry also, good to sell. So what I have drawn here is, you can also say this is another block here. That week is also another block. Okay, let's try to check the 30-minute time frame. Okay, you can see without even going to 30-minute time frame, I identify the other block on the 1-hour time frame. Very, very beautiful. Okay, yeah, that's about UBCHF. Sell confirmation, if you get it here, then good. If you get sell confirmation here again, no problem. If you get buy confirmation here, it's very, very beautiful because market is very, very bullish. But structurally, you can take sales. It's called counter trend trades. Okay, GBPCHF. What's different between market imbalance and inefficiency? Imbalance, inefficiency, I think the two are the same thing. To me, I'll say the two are the same. Yeah, imbalance, inefficiency. I really don't see any difference there. Okay, let's ask Google. But to me, imbalance is, I believe you all know the definition of imbalance already. But let's check difference between imbalance and inefficiency. Yeah. Imbalance, yes, excess, sure, definitely. Okay, we all know definition of imbalance. So let's just check definition of inefficiency, then we can compare and contrast. Inefficient markets is one which an asset prices do not reflect its true value. Okay, so they are not the same thing. They are not the same thing. Okay, imbalance is when there's a lot of orders, something like news. Understand what I'm saying? When there's a lot of orders affecting movement of price. But inefficiency, as what we can see here, they said, is when an asset price does not accurately reflects its true value, maybe due to manipulations. That's what I feel that might not allow you to see the value of an asset when the price do not was reflect its value. Okay, I really don't use inefficiency, but I make use of imbalance very well, because imbalance is like confluence also. Imbalance is like confluence. Whenever you are taking a trade now, you can see that you can see there's a lot of sell pressure here. So there's an imbalance there, because maybe due to news or something, whatever, there's imbalance there. So at this point, you can see market might want to mitigate this other block here other than this one. Why? Because we all believe that markets tends to feel imbalance, and then in the process of feeling an imbalance and returning to another block that was caused before the imbalance, market mitigates the zone and then keeps moving in the direction it wants to go. So this is a form of imbalance here, and that's how you can use imbalance as confluence to also take trades or take analyze pairs. Okay, so what do we have on crypto? Since nobody is dropping pairs right now, let me see if there are any questions. Okay, there are no questions for now. I have 12 people on this call. I'll just analyze 5 crypto pairs and then I'll call it a day. Like I said, I don't trade crypto. I don't trade BTC. I only use BTC as my index. Okay, like, because most of the time, if BTC is falling, most altcoins follow, they fall, and if BTC is rising, most altcoins rise. So I always I always analyze BTC first to know the direction, and once you can get direction of the more like the father, then you can get the direction of the children. Okay, so that's where I just view it, and then I don't really like trading BTC. Yes, so what is BTC saying? Is it bearish or bullish? Okay, because most people tend to ask that question. Yeah, to me, I'll say BTC is bullish, but right now structurally it is ranging, but it's bullish. It's bullish. Yeah, it's bullish, but it might take a long time before it breaks out this high. Then if it breaks out this high, then it's very, very bullish. Then heading to this area of imbalance. Yeah, area of imbalance. Yeah, but this doesn't mean BTC cannot become bearish tomorrow. If markets breaks this low here, then we are bearish. But right now, BTC is bullish. But there's no entry to buy here because market is ranging at this moment. Market is ranging at the moment, so no opportunities to buy right now. But I'm not really expecting sales from here. But if we get a sell from here and then it breaks past this zone here, this low here, then we are bearish again. But right now, to me, I'm still very, very bullish on BTC. So let me explain why I took a sell on SFP and why I sent the signal to the group, why I took a sell. Yes, so looking at SFP, I was like, what do we have? What do we have? It was breaking structure to the upside. I was like, okay. Then I didn't see any entry to buy. You can see there was no entry to buy, only this other block here. And I know that definitely before market gets there, market has to sell to buy, right? Market has to sell to buy. Before getting to this zone, it has to sell. And I was like, okay, let's look for sell entries then to get to this zone. My target is even still ESF. So this is the new order block I'm targeting. Then you can continue buying again. Okay, then I spotted this inefficiency here, imbalance here, imbalance, then this other block, liquidity grab candle, imbalance, very, very beautiful, no mitigation. And once it got to the point to mitigate, I went down. In fact, it was the 1 hour time frame I used for confirmation. I saw the type of candle we always look for in the mentorship group, which is the market maker candle. You can call it the double M candle, you can call it market maker candle, you can also call it the triple M candle, you can call it any type of candle. Then I was like, okay, let's go to the 1 minute to look for entries again. You can see even if the candle looks like jargons, it doesn't mean you can't enter trades. I have guys that use 5 seconds time frame, 15 seconds time frame, and so on and so forth, but I don't use those ones because it's stress to me. But if it works for you, no problem about that. I don't go against it. So beautiful delivery of price, and we have the so that was how I engaged in price, how I took in the buy, the sell rather, and I got the beautiful delivery I was looking for. Even though it took a very long time before it started selling, but God is the greatest. Okay, how do you rank skills? That is also a question I always get to. Abby, how do I say it now? This is a question I get asked every time. Like, how do I know this is the correct zone? How do I know this is the correct zone? Correct zone, correct zone, correct zone. Everybody wants to know the correct zone, but nobody knows. Yes, nobody knows the correct zone. Like I just explained, the only way I, myself, and I identify the correct zone is where is that GBPCHF again? I have made an analysis on GBPCHF where we have two zones right now. Now, these are two zones here. How do I know that? Okay, how do I know the correct zone out of all these three zones I've drawn here? How do I know? I'm not a market maker. I'm not anything. How do I know? I don't know. But according to smart money concepts and then the knowledge I have, I know that this zone, there's a high probability that this zone is going to hold than this zone. Even though this is more recent zone, but I have a feeling that uh this zone is going to hold more because there's an imbalance here. You can see beautiful imbalance at this point. There's an imbalance at this point. I know that okay, if market should try to fill this imbalance, then should try to what mitigate this other block that was left that caused the what imbalance and then continue the sell delivery. And that is one way, confluence. And the second way I always know if a zone is correct is once I get my confirmation, if I just see confirmation like, oh, beautiful confirmation, if I, most especially when I see confirmation on a 30 minutes time frame and I go down to the 1 minute, I see confirmation, I go down to the 5 minute, I see confirmation, I go down to the 3 minute, I see confirmations. You know, we have five confirmation entries or entry confirmation we use on the mentorship group. So once I see like 3 or 2 and you know, then the zone is a very, very good zone to go. Okay. And if it's eventually it's my stop loss, then I know that okay, it's heading for this zone. And then if this zone doesn't hold, then structurally we are bullish again. Then start looking for prices to deliver to the upside. So that's the only way I know that my zones are correct. And even me looking at this candlestick here also is an imbalance candlestick as is long. So you can see there's an imbalance here also. There's an imbalance here. Okay. And then there's probability that this zone will hold. So whichever way, once I get my confirmation, I go into sell. But UBCHF is not part of my pairs, so I don't think I'll be trading them or sending any signal on it. But let me screenshot it and send it to the Telegram free Telegram group. Okay. So most people also ask that how do they screenshot on the laptop? It's very, very simple. Just go to your search box, search for sniping tool. You can see sniping tool. Once you tap on it, you can lock it or pin it to your taskbar, and you are going to go there. You click on new. Once you click on new, you draw the zone you want to screenshot. Instead of using your phone to screenshot, only Control C for copy, Control S for save. Okay. So we have GBPCHF. C. Okay. Then I've saved this to my laptop and send it to the free Telegram group. Hashtag free setup. Okay. Okay. Now it's sending. You're gonna get it. That's not the problem. So, I believe I've been able to answer that question concerning how to mark correct zone. So we're going to see how GBCHF is going to play out around all what we've drawn here. Okay. I think that will be all for now. If there are no questions, then I think that will be all for now. We've spent 54 minutes already on this call, and I think I've been able to answer all your questions. If you have any question, please let me know. And if you don't have any questions, just type no questions so we can just, you know, say peace, guys, and we're done for the day. So we should be expecting markets to open in the next few hours and then gets to work by tomorrow morning. London session and then the New York session. Okay, no questions. Thank you. All right. Any other person? Any other person? Someone has left the meeting. Okay. Okay, no questions. I believe uh that will be all for now. So for the recording, you're going to get.
Hello, Chief.
Okay, I'm with you.
Please go back to that SEP chart for that crypto.
Which one? Which pair?
SEP.
Okay, this.
I'm not sure of the name. Let me check something.
But you should be able to identify it. It should be. Is it this one?
Yes.
Okay,
It's
okay,
this one.
okay,
There's this question I want to ask. Let's say, for example, now, if the market is, let's say, it is going down,
okay,
then it's now break structure to go up.
okay.
Then like it's always convincing that like how will you know it pushes us to go up, like it now wants to continue, like how will you know the exact places to like it's until I see a chart before I can read it. Can you go to the USD?
Okay,
Sorry, I'm disturbing you.
okay. So here we have ADUSD.
And go back to this recent one, that one that looks like head and shoulder, the recent chart,
Okay, okay.
the
This
most
one.
recent ones, like the ones that look like like uh, you see the last other block you do is around that side,
Yeah.
so you can see from here that it was going up, like
Yes.
normally to an uptrend, then
Yes. Yes.
it broke the trend downwards,
Yeah. Coming to the
and from there
downside.
it started to sell,
Yeah.
like why didn't that you see that other block before it's hard for me to describe it here. This place, yes. Why didn't that other block hold? Something like
Yeah.
this now.
This one.
Yes.
Yeah. 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 I understand your question now.
Like it's going up, then there are sometimes that it will break a structure, then it will still obey the other block down. There are times that it will break the structure and it won't obey it. Like how are you going to know the one that will hold and the one that won't hold?
Yeah. Like I said, there's no way to know if you are going to, if the market is going to hold or is not going to hold. This one, I think I also took a -1 on this pair, AUD USD, if I'm to be correct. And then after taking the loss, I knew that okay, this market is just too overbought or is it oversold now? What do I call it? Which English do these RSI people use? You can see that the stretch to the upside is it has bought for a very very long time. And then other blocks at this top here might not really work. But even though I still took a buy at this point, where was the 1 minute time frame set? I think I got a confirmation here. Was it not?
Yes,
Yeah.
there is that double, I think double market maker also.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, because I knew I take a buy around these points, and then it was a -1. Yeah, somewhere here, maybe 15 minutes, 30 minutes. I can't even remember, but I understand what you're trying to say.
But this week I had lots of other blocks that failed. I was trying to use that flow something we talked about last 2 weeks. Or the I think market order flow or something like that.
Oh, order flow is still almost the same thing as institutional structure.
But what I'm trying to say is that it is sometimes that let's say the market is trending, then if it break a structure in the lower time frame, you can
Yeah.
really just decide that okay, this market is now bearish. This is talking about that order flow.
Okay, yes, yes, yes. Now, checking the bigger time frame, and then you are saying, okay, the bigger time frame is telling you that the market is bullish, but uh in between the trend, now this is the smaller time frame. Now this is the smaller time frame. In the smaller time frame, you see a lot of structures at this point. Sell, 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 yeah. At this point also sell, 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 yeah. At this point also sell, 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 yeah. But the main aim is what? The main aim is actually a buy. It's actually bullish. But looking at these sales, you should know that these sales are short-term sales, even if you are going to take any sales at all. That's what I was talking. That's what I was talking about. Order flow and yeah, order flow in the video I made. That even if you are going to take a sell, you should know that the sell is not going to last long at all, at all, at all, because these ones are just like pullbacks on for the bigger time frames. These ones are just little pullbacks for the bigger time frames. So whenever you are seeing something like these pullbacks, you should know that what they are sells, they are just what pullbacks, that are short-term sales, counter trend trades. Then your original movement should be targeting these lows here for what, for continuing bullish, not a full-time sell trade that you're going to take. No, it's not going to be a full-time sell trade. It's going to be like short-term sell trade that you're going to take. And then some of the times, then these short-term sell trades will also give you other blocks by the way. Something like that. Stuff like that. So which might try to fool you that hey, this market is already bearish. But on the bigger time frame, that's why they always say the trend is your friend. On the bigger time frame, never forget that the bigger time frame structure is the real institutional structure that we are following. All these ones are just what the smaller inner time frames that you can use for what targeting prices to area of liquidity for the bigger time frame to continue moving in the desired direction. So these ones are just what smaller time frame movements for taking prices to areas of liquidity. Like now, okay, you are targeting this place, but you know that before market gets to this place, it has to sell. Then okay, market is here, and then on the smaller time frame, it has already sold, broken structure like this, and you know that okay, then you can take a sell here at this point to what, to give you a sell price delivery to this point, and then you should know that when you're taking profit at this, you should be taking profit at this point and then waiting for market to what, give you buys. And then even if the market doesn't want to give you buys at this point, that's why I don't always use to take profits. And then if you are locking profits, you can lock profits here, you can lock profits here in case market wants to just keep going down. You understand what I'm saying? But deep down in your mind, you should know that this is the area, this is the target area you should be looking at if market actually wants to continue in sequences of higher lows, higher highs, something like that. Ah, that's just the confusion about the smaller time frames that gives you but for this one here, I just felt this market has already overbought too much. I think that's the word. That's already overbought that to the extent that it is time for what, the sellers. So if you're even buying, you might be buying correctly, but you might be the last buyer. You understand? All the buyers were somewhere here, and then you want to buy at this point again, then you're already the last buyer. You understand? You don't carry last already. But it had been what's very, very overbought. And some buyers are waiting here, some are waiting here. Then you can look for buys here again and then targets these sales at this point here. But the daily time frame is telling us that we are bullish. So I don't expect this sell. Okay, this daily time frame is looking more like a range, but still to me, I'll still say it's bullish. So this sell, you shouldn't expect this sell to hold so long like that. Okay.
Okay. Okay. My last question is in a Wyckoff distribution.
Okay.
Hmm, is it a must that a Wyckoff distribution is meant to go down? Is it a must that after ranging that the market must first take out the upside before taking down, or it can take the down before going to take the upside,
Yeah, for
or as in
Wyckoff.
for taking out liquidity? Is
Yeah,
it a
that
must that it must first take up before down, or it can do it anyhow? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, so that's the confusing part about Wyckoff, and that's why you must spot another block before trading Wyckoff. You can't just trade Wyckoff because markets everywhere. There's Wyckoff everywhere on the markets. So you might see something like this, and this is a Wyckoff, right? So market has done this, and then at this point again, there's liquidity, and then Wyckoff is happening here again, and you are confused that oh, what the fuck, what's going on? Wyckoff everywhere, and boom, and you are just but the idea is this. First of all, there should be reason for trading Wyckoff. there should be a reason for trading Wyckoff in the first place, which is reason. Okay, if you want to take a buy here now, you should know that okay, market must what if you are looking for Wyckoff or if your Wyckoff is forming, so your Wyckoff is here, the range has occurred, and then you should know that okay, you should take the liquidity to the downside before moving because there's liquidity is formed already here at this point. Liquidity is formed here, lying down at this point. So you should know that okay, it should be what a down move to buy. It should be a down move to buy. Then you should be looking for other blocks at this zone to expect what price to keep going up. And for sales also, you should know that once the market has given you this delivery to the upside, Wyckoff, you should know that liquidity is formed around this place, and then what you should wait for what that liquidity grab before you expect what they move to the downside. Then after that, you can look for other blocks that cause liquidity grab to keep moving, and then keeping prices to keep going to the downside. But if you say, oh, you want to be trading Wyckoff alone, and just a accumulation can become a redistribution, and redistribution can become an accumulation, something like that. So it will actually confuse you when you're trading Wyckoff alone. But if you are trading Wyckoff, okay, you know that okay, you want to take a buy here, then you should know that okay, whatever Wyckoff I'm going to see here, it should be Wyckoff to what? To grab liquidity, something like this, and then liquidity must be grabbed to the downside because I'm looking for a buy opportunity. Then liquidity has been grabbed. The liquidity laying there has been grabbed. Okay, liquidity laying there has been grabbed. Break of structure is formed already. We have this, and then expecting price to take off from the other block that caused the break of structure of the Wyckoff. Okay. So for the Wyckoff, I believe I'm clear now.
Yes, boss. Yes.
Okay. Any other questions? At this point, I'm gonna say, okay, we are 1 hour 7 minutes up already. Any questions, please? Any questions, please? Those that are just coming, don't worry, you get the recording today. You get it today or tomorrow. This is 10 o'clock. I'll still be awake till around 12, 1, 2 o'clock. So you get it today for sure. Okay. Any other questions, please? At this point, I'm gonna say peace, guys. I'm out.